Okay, so I shared the wrong page. I gotta stop sharing and do this different. Come on down. Uh, all right, so we are going to, this is the 3-2 worksheet, last page, top left and the bottom two, right? Bottom what? Bottom right. Left, bottom left. All right, so top left. We have this relation, find the value of x for dy dx equaling 17. I did yesterday. I don't know if I made a video of it or not, but I could actually solve this and get two different answers without even using the calculus. I could just plug that 8 in and solve for x, and there's two answers. But there's only one answer that works when the change in y, the dy dx, the change in y with respect to x is 17. So the first thing we want to do is rewrite this without a radical. So that means I am going to be doing chain rule on this left side. So I'm going to take that half, and I'm going to move that half to the front. I'm going to keep the inside identical, and then I'm going to subtract 1 from a half. That's the first link. Then I'm going to go inside, and now I'm doing the derivative with respect to x. So I'm going to do the derivative of the inside. So the derivative of x is 1, and it's dx dx because it says dx on the bottom, so I'm done with that. And then plus the derivative of y is 1, and you got dy dx. So there's the end of the chain for that. And over here on the right side, the derivative of 3x is 3. So right now I'm going to do everything I just did a second ago. I'm going to plug in my numbers. So I'm going to plug, actually, let's go ahead and simplify this first. We'll just plug them in, what the heck. So I got 1/2, and I'm plugging in 8 for y. And over here, I'm plugging in 17 for dy dx. So I'm going to end up getting 18 over here, and I'm going to take that 18 times 1 and get 18 in my numerator. On the bottom, I got 2, and I'm going to stick this x plus 8 back on the bottom. I'm going to stick it back in a radical. And now I've made this back into an algebra 1 problem. So we got to get the variable off the, well, actually, let's go ahead and reduce this 2 and 18 to a 9. So I'm going to multiply this over to the other side. So I'm going to get 9 equals 3 radical x plus 8. I'm going to divide by 3 and get 3 equals radical x plus 8. I'm going to square each side and get 9 equals x plus 8. And I'm going to subtract 8 from each side and get x equals 1. So find the value of x. There you go. So the value of x is 1 when y is 8 and the change in y with respect to x is 17. And then the bottom left one. Write the y-intercept form. Now this one, you do have to go ahead and finish after you do point slope form. Write the y-intercept equation of the tangent to this function in the third quadrant where x is -3. So what two things do you need every time you find a tangent line? What two things? Point, slope. So I'm going to find a point. So I'm going to take, just like we did on the first problem, plug -3 in for x, solve for y. So I'm going to get 9 plus y equals 25. So, oops, it should be y squared. Y squared equals 16. I square root, and I get y can be positive or -4. And we're in quadrant 3. What kind of value of y in quadrant 3? Negative. So I ignore this one. I got -4. Okay? So now I need to do the derivative of this thing. And I'm doing it, we're going to do it with respect to x. So I get 2x plus 2y dy dt is going to equal 0.
It's dy dx.
What?
It's dy dx.
Oh, thank you. Okay. dy dx. All right, so now I'm going to plug in my numbers. So I'm going to plug in -3 and get -6 plus, and plug in -4 and get -8 dy dx. Add the 6 over and divide by -8. So there is my slope, which I would probably go ahead and reduce to -3/4. So my equation is going to be y minus -4, because my point, maybe I should have written it up here, is -3, -4. So y minus -4 is y plus 4, and then 3/4 times x minus -3 is x plus 3. And now this set I had to put it in slope-intercept form, so I get y plus 4 is going to equal 3/4 x plus 9/4. And then what I would do is I get this into a common denominator by multiplying them by 4/4, which gives me 16/4. So when I subtract 16/4 over, I get 3/4 x, and 9 minus 16, I believe, is -7/4. Yeah? 9 minus 16? Oh, it is negative. I didn't put negative. Sorry, that's negative. That makes that negative. That makes this negative. Which makes this actually 16 and 9 would be -25/4. Oh, so my answer I'm looking for is that right there. Question. I guess since I was looking for y-intercept, we could have plugged a 0 in up here and solved too. It did give you the same thing. All right, is that it? Anything else off 3-2? Okay, I'm going to shut this off then and then put it out there. And then we're going to have a quiz. Anybody else got